My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be what you don't know about the narcissist. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So, there are so many things you don't know about the narcissist. You thought you did, but you don't. And many more things you will never know about the narcissist. Some of the examples would be where they were when they weren't with you. You'll never know. You'll know where they told you they were, if they ever even told you that, but you'll never know the truth as to where they were. Or how about who they were talking to on their smartphone or their tablet or their laptop or computer when you would walk in the room, or maybe even when you'd be sitting right beside them. Other things you don't know about them is who their former relationships were with. Maybe some of those relationships were romantic relationships and they claimed that those people were toxic themselves, maybe even narcissistic. But you'll never know who those people really were because A, they may not have ever even existed. B, those people may have been wise enough to figure out that you were with a narcissist and they figured it out before you did, and they were what was known as the old supply before the narcissist went on to you. Other things you don't know about the narcissist is that they are fragile inside. They are anxiety riddled. They are always looking over their shoulder. They're always on the go, go, go. They can never sit still. They always have to be consuming something, somebody, or some circumstance or situation. The narcissist is a taker. As I've shared for so many videos over the years, they want to take, and take. And when they're done, what do? They want to take more. But they didn't want you knowing that. What you didn't know also about the narcissist is that they knew who they were. Yes, they did. Now, you may say, well, I'm not so sure about that. They may not have known who they were. Well, do you think that they knew what gaslighting was? Of course they did. Do you think that they knew what triangulation was? Yes, they did. Did they know what financial abuse was? Absolutely. Did they know that your relationship had an expiration date? Yes, they did. You didn't know that because you were in a committed, stable, or so you thought, two-way reciprocal relationship with somebody who knew that they were going to try and break that relationship and you and anything that mattered to you over and over and over again until finally the ultimate discard took place. But you didn't know that. Other things you didn't know about the narcissist is that they had a very painted and tainted and pitch black past. Now, they may have claimed that they were not brought up properly, or they weren't loved, or they were abandoned as a child, and they had it so rough, and they didn't have money, and they couldn't go to school, and they had to do all these things. Some of that may be true. Maybe a lot of it's true. I can't tell you. What I can tell you is this, is that each and every one of us were born on this planet. Each and every one of us have had decisions that we've had to make. Did we want to stand for goodness, or did we want to turn to the dark side? You know what side you're on, and you know what side I'm on. I'm on the beautiful, bright, shining light side, and so are you. The narcissist is on the polar opposite side, but they didn't want you to know that. Remember, the narcissist slithered their way into your life. They infiltrated your mindset. They infiltrated your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, your goals, your potential, your purpose, your bank account, your health, and so much more. And they took whatever they could, but they didn't want you to know what they were doing. Let's go to financial abuse for a moment. What does the narcissist love more than money? They love your money more than money. The narcissist will gladly overspend your money to get whatever they want, even though they won't even use some of the things that they would be purchasing with your money. Here are examples. Maybe the narcissist had a spending concern, meaning they like to shop, and they like to have things sent to their house, let's say Amazon or something like that. Well, maybe they had an affection or some kind of craving for shoes or for clothing or for makeup or jewelry or something. Well, they probably ordered this over and over and over again on your dime. And then one day you open up the closet and it was filled head to toe with all these shoe boxes of shoes they would never wear, or of jewelry they would never wear, or of clothes they would never wear. And you would be saying, why are you still ordering things? You have all these items that I'm paying for, that I've been paying for the last 5 or 7 years. What are you doing? And they would be saying, looking at you, saying, what's the problem? You can't do this any longer? It's my life. I can do whatever I want to. And by the way, move your stuff to the other corner of the closet because I now have to take over 95% of it and you get 5%. Now, they're not going to tell you those numbers. But then again, you would do exactly what they wanted you to do. But you didn't know that back then. You didn't know that you were slowly being extinguished. You were slowly being erased. You were slowly being punished for being yourself. And these are more of the things you didn't know about the narcissist, that not only did they know what they were doing because they had done it before they met you, they did it with you, but they're also doing it right now with other people if they're still breathing air on the planet. Every single person who runs across the path of the narcissist will be punished one way or the other. It could be a short-term relationship, meaning a coffee barista at your favorite coffee shop that the narcissist goes to flirt with in front of you. Or it could be a person they're sitting on an airplane with and they're flirting with that person, or trying to get a free drink out of that person. Or maybe they're acting like they just came on a business trip from 5,000 miles away when in fact they're flying on your dime or your frequent flyer miles to go somewhere where they're not lifting a finger to pay, but they're acting like they just have all the money in the world. These are some of the things that narcissists didn't want you to know. The narcissist is a coward, they're shallow, they're hollow, they're a bully, and they need to always fill that void that's within themselves with what is known as supply. Supply can be a pet, it can be a plane, it can be an Amazon package, it can be a conversation with somebody, it can be spreading a rumor, it can be creating a smear campaign, it can be waiting for somebody to have them pick them up, it can be financially abusing somebody, it can be dragging out the divorce, delaying the custody of the children, waiting to get the payment sent to you even though you were divorced 5 years ago from the narcissist, but you're still waiting for them to pay you the money. It can be anything, but this is what the narcissist needs. See, the narcissist needs to be needed, and they want to live in people's minds rent-free. Now I know that's not the best way to say it, but it's a tough pill to swallow, but it's real. This is why the narcissist doesn't give people closure. This is why the narcissist can't introspect, but they didn't want you to know that. This is why the narcissistic relationship always has an expiration date. Again, they didn't want you to figure that out, because if the narcissist had walked up to you and handed you that 2-page report and said, this is who I am, it's what I've done to other people, and it's what I'll do to you, you would have run for the hills. You would have said thank you, but no thank you. I want nothing to do with you. But that's not what happened. You see, the narcissist assimilated themselves with you. They were like a wolf in sheep's clothing trying to learn all about you. And the closer they got to you, the more vulnerable you were. The more vulnerable you were, the more you shared with them, the more you shared, the more that they put in their tiny little pea brain and the memory of what to weaponize against you at a later date. But they didn't want you to know that. These are things you didn't know about the narcissist. The narcissist is calculated. They're methodical. They will keep sources of supply around as long as those supply sources provide utility or purpose, or they can stay stuck in that zombie-like, trance-like state as long as the narcissist wants them or needs them. But once the narcissist no longer sees value or an opportunity or access in somebody, then they discard that person. And they want to twist the knife in that person deeper and deeper and deeper. Again, it's like I shared earlier, it's why they don't give people closure. It's why you're going to have to focus on yourself and really heal and learn that that narcissistic person or people, they knew what they were doing because they had plotted it out, they had planned it out, they had executed it as to what they thought being flawlessly, but it wasn't flawless. And you may say, well, it kind of was because it ruined my life. Well, that's what I thought at one point. But guess what? I'm still here. So are you. You can rebuild just like I'm rebuilding. The narcissist can't rebuild. All they have to do is try to capture people and to take whatever those people have. And at one point that was you, and it certainly was me. Once you go through the cycle and you heal and heal properly, and you focus on yourself and you learn to control what you can control, you learn to respond, not react. You stay centered, focused, stoic, and you understand how humanity works. And you understand that there's narcissism, there's empathy, and there's everything in between, and there's actually much worse out there than narcissism. But when you understand all these things, then you realize, wow, I really am fortunate that I'm out of that relationship and that I healed, and now I see things the way they really are. I'm not seeing the world the way I used to see things. I'm not seeing things the way the narcissist wanted me to see things. And that's something that narcissists didn't want you to know. Here's another one before I get ready to close the video. The narcissist didn't want you believing in yourself. They didn't want you to realize how strong you are. They didn't want you to realize how much you have within you that they don't have. This is why the narcissist, when you're in that relationship, they continue to verbally abuse you or plant seeds of doubt or plant seeds of confusion or plant seeds of mistrust or manipulation, because they were trying to control you via their own words, flying monkeys' words, their lack of access to you or their access to you. This is why when you were working, literally, at a 9-to-5 job, when you were in the relationship with the narcissist, you weren't working on such a high level after a period of time because all of your energy was being stolen from you. This is why your bank account was probably flush with money before you met the narcissist, and lo and behold, it's now all gone, and you're up to your eyeballs in credit card debt because they took everything they could. This is why all of your relationships blew up left, right, and center from virtually the minute you met the narcissist until long after the discard took place, because the narcissist was administering the smear campaign. Now, you didn't know what the smear campaign was, but then again, you weren't supposed to know that, because these are one of the tactics or the manipulating behaviors of the narcissist. The narcissist uses the same playbook. They use the exact same pages, in the exact same ways. Each and every one of them utilize these. The difference is the narcissist sometimes is young, sometimes they're middle-aged, sometimes they're older, and sometimes they are, yes, the aging narcissist. But the narcissist will continue to come at you in different shapes, sizes, weights, colors, ethnicities, speaking different languages. They will play the victim, they will play the holier-than-thou, they will play the cerebral card, they will play whatever they want to get access to a fuel source. Now, as I shared with you earlier, you are a beautiful, bright, shining light, as am I. You weren't supposed to know that, though. The narcissist didn't want you to know that. So what you will never know about the narcissist is that they got off, if you will. They got excited, they got supply, they got filled up with excitement and with all of the toxicity within them when they thought that they were destroying your life. Now again, when they thought they were destroying your life. You may say, well, they kind of did. I'm in a dark space and it's not looking good. Well, I was there. You need to believe in yourself the way I believe in you and the way I believed in myself way back when I was discarded. I did not quit. I did not stop. I continued to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I continued to focus on myself and learn and heal and understand and wrap my head around what narcissism was, how it affected me, how I got trapped in the cycle, and how all of these things were by design at the hands of the apex predator, yes, the narcissist. And as I did that, I began to evolve and ascend and grow and elevate. That's what you are doing. It's what you will do if you haven't already. Again, before I close the video, what you didn't know about the narcissist in a nutshell is this. Yes, they know they're toxic. Yes, they know that they destroy lives. Yes, they know that they will continue to do it. Yes, they know they lie. Yes, they know they steal. Yes, they know they cheat. Yes, they know they will use any method whatsoever underneath the sun to control any person that they deem valuable. And yes, they will game the system. They will drag out the divorce, drag out the custody, drag out the division of assets, and they will make people wait and stay stuck in a holding pattern as long as they possibly can. But that's not what the narcissist wanted you to know. They didn't want you to know any of that. This is why so frequently when you were in a relationship with them, you would have plans and they would be changed at the last minute. This is why the narcissist at times would be in your house with you. Again, you didn't know they were a narcissist, and they would claim that they're really tired and they're just going to go upstairs and rest for a little while. And then 3 minutes later, they're coming downstairs looking like $1 million with their dancing shoes on, and they're all glowing with makeup ear to ear. And they're saying, hey, I'm just going to go see my sister for a couple hours. I'll be back. And you're like, I thought you were tired, and it's 9:30 at night, and it's a Tuesday. What's going on? And you'd be scratching your head, but you didn't know what you know now, which is they weren't going to see their sister. They were going to see a new supply source. Ding, ding, ding. This is how these things work. That's why you need to understand not everything is how it appears to be on this planet. And that's why you need to understand the narcissist is everywhere. That's why you must go no contact. You must block them, delete them, remove them, and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. If not now, when? And if you are not able to do that right now, then get ready to create, develop, and execute your exit plan and get away from that toxic person. You need to get away from them to heal. That is the path. As long as you're still communicating with the narcissist, it will be challenging. As long as you're still giving them access to you, it will still be challenging. As long as you're still giving in to them and believing that they can change, or they do love you, or they do care about you, you will have a long journey in front of you. You need to cut the ties. The 4 ties are the emotional tie, the financial tie, the physical tie, and the spiritual tie. When you cut those, you sever those for good, and you super glue or airtight glue, whatever it's called, all the avenues of communication that were open to you by them, or vice versa, then you begin to heal and elevate. But until you do those things, it's going to be challenging, and I had to learn that myself, and that's why I pay it forward by creating videos each and every day. And these are all the things the narcissist didn't want you to know, and these are the things you didn't know about the narcissist. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. I love you all. God bless you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Recognize one thing. The narcissist knows what they're doing.
Unreal.
You may think they didn't. You may think that they have a problem that they can work on and change. Never going to happen. As long as the narcissist has an audience of 1 or of 10,000, they will continue to do what they do because that's what fuels them. What fuels them is being needed. What fuels them is an audience, and what fuels them is access and attention. Cut them out of your life. Begin today, if not now, when. I love you all. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye.
I gotta say, that's fucking crazy.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be how the narcissist continues to fall apart. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share.